Hey, 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 it's Robert's Top 10. Hey, hey, it's Robert's Top 10. He's at it again with another Top 10. It's a lousy Top 10. It's Robert's Top 10. I'm Robert Cho, and I'm back again with another Robert's Top 10. Today we're going to do Robert's Top 10 Japanese horror films. I have so many Japanese films, decided to split them up and give horror its own top 10. So, coming in at top 10 is Onchibanbara. I don't know if you can see that. Bikini Samurai Squad. So, this movie is really awesome because the main actress is in a bikini fighting against zombies with samurai swords. Enough said. You don't need anything better than that. I mean, it's pretty cool. You got a hot Japanese babe going around killing zombies in a bikini. And not only that, her little sister is dressed up in a schoolgirl uniform, and she's going around killing people. So, can't get any better than that. What's really cool about this movie is that there's a video game, and the video game is really repetitive. All you do is just run around the city chopping up zombies. All the bad guys are the same, but once again, you get girls in bikinis and schoolgirl uniforms, and you can't argue with that. Sex in those type of situations is always going to win. So that's coming in at number 10. Coming in at number 9, you got Takashi Miike's Guzo. Now, this movie is a horror movie, only the fact that you don't understand what's going on half the time. It's really cool. Simple story, there's this Yakuza guy who's going out of control, so the Yakuza boss wants him killed. So they have the guy's like best friend, his like homie, take him to this little town so they can kill him. He ends up taking him to this town, and he loses him. Can't find him. He goes around this town, he meets a lot of strange people, meets a lot of strange characters, he gets licked by a cow. I mean, the whole movie's bizarre. The ending is great, you know, it's just one of those endings that you have to watch and go, I can't believe that just happened. Because he ends up meeting a girl who actually says that she's actually his friend, falls in love with her. But like I said, I don't want to give too much away, it's going to spoil the ending. It's really cool, it's really disturbing, it's graphic, it's just one of those Takashi Miike movies that, you know, you just have to check out. Alright, following that, we got Frankenstein Girl versus Vampire Girl. Yeah. Now, once again, this is just basically hot Japanese chicks fighting against each other. One's a vampire, the other one turns into like this Frankenstein monster type thing. Her dad's like a scientist and makes like these magical screws that when you screw flesh together, they come back to life. The movie's really great. It's comedy and it's horror at the same time. It's also a splatter film. I love splatter films. In fact, you'll see a lot of splatter films on this countdown. What I really like about it, and I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to, is the racism. They have a lot of racism there, and it's funny because you're seeing racism from a different culture. You're seeing it from the Japanese culture and not the original American culture. So some things they just make extremely out of control, and they make it extremely funny. And where we would say, wow, we would even dare put that in a movie, over there they just go ahead and throw it. So it's just one of those movies where you just got to sit back and just enjoy it for what it is. Next we have Meatball Machine. Oh, let's see where you at. Yeah, there we go. A Meatball Machine is a really cool idea. I mean, I could see Hollywood getting their hands on this and trying to make it like something really spectacular that American audiences will go for. The whole idea is that there's these little aliens that crash land on planet Earth. They go into human beings, take over their bodies, and make the humans fight each other. It's a contest that the aliens are having. So now these little aliens are going around in human bodies fighting against, you know, each other and trying to become number one. And the cool part about it is that they actually find out that if humans are actually emotionally attached to each other, their bodies become greater weapons and start fighting even harder. And it's just really cool. You know, the whole idea is really cool how they do it. It's another splatter film. There's blood all over the place. There's blood everywhere. There's guts eaten. There's limbs being cut off, shot off, cut off. You know, there's aliens, mutations, stuff like that. It's just really wild, but it's a really cool movie, and the idea is really cool, and they did a great job of directing it. And bonus feature is they actually show the short film that was actually made, so it could become the longer film, Meatball Machine. They show the original short one. So that's a little treat because you get to see where this whole idea started from. Alright, coming up next, we got Ichi the Killer. Now, Ichi the Killer is probably another one of Takashi Miike's great movies. It's way out there. I mean, I had to watch it several times before I fully understood it, and then I had to watch Takashi Miike do an interview about this movie so that I can even understand it better. There's a lot of torture, there's a lot of rape, there's a lot of disturbing images. It's just one of those movies where you sit down and you watch it the first time, you go, I can't believe I just watched that. That's sick, that's disgusting. You watch it again, you're like, okay, I could probably understand it now. You watch it another time after that, you're like, yeah, that's okay, I get it. And you keep watching it pretty soon, it's just one of those movies you're like, wow, man, this is really cool. Like, I know it's horrible and it's demented and depraved and twisted and, you know, a lot of weird imagination was put into it, but you start to enjoy it after a while, just like I did. Really cool movie, probably one of my favorites by Takashi Miike. Just really cool. Of course, we have another Takashi Miike movie coming in next, Audition. So you get that there. Now, Audition is really cool because it's a love story for about like the first hour and a half, and then it's just like sanity, crazy horror like the last half hour. I mean, I saw this movie and I was like, this is so sweet. I can't believe it's going to turn into a horror movie. And finally at the end, you understand why. And real quick, true story about this DVD I'm holding in my hand. I actually bought it, let a friend borrow it, and then all of a sudden he gave it back to me. And I remember I took it off his car and I put it in my house. And one night I was going to watch it. I couldn't find it anywhere. I asked him if he had it. He said no, he gave it back to me. Then all of a sudden it was in his car again, beneath the seat. And I said, you can keep that DVD. I'm going to go get my own DVD. That is crazy. That's horrible. That's scary crazy. So I had to go buy a new one because I felt the old one was haunted or had some type of possession in it. But like I said, Audition, really good movie. You got to go pick it up. Check it out. I mean, you'll like it. Okay, next we have more Splatterfest coming up with Robo Geisha. Now, this is not really a horror movie. It's more like an action movie with a lot of blood. It's one of those Japanese movies that just really strange. I mean, they really just went out there. They got like explosive sushi. They have robot pagodas. They have girls, samurai girls, who swords come out of their butts and they fight with them. And it's just one of those movies where you're like, wow, that's like really out there. But it's fun. It's entertaining. Like I said, I love splatter films. There's blood all over the place. There's oil all over the place. It's just one of those movies that you just have to sit back and enjoy just because of how bad it is and just how unique it is. So, next we have the Tokyo Gore Police. Now, this is another Splatterfest film that I really like. Especially me, that I like a lot of blood. I like a lot of weird stuff going along with the blood. And this movie's right up there. Story is that there's this dude that figure out how to change human bodies into demon bodies. So he like takes this little key thing, they call it the tumor, and he puts the tumor in them, and they turn into like these weird monsters, and they all turn into weird stuff. Probably one of the coolest things is that this cop gets his penis bit off, and then his penis turns into like a cannon, so he's just going around blowing up people. And then this other dude, he like gets his arm chopped off, and it becomes a chainsaw. I mean, it's just really weird. There's a lot of weird sexual images. They're at the fetish club, and they're showing like unique girls that have been altered physically, and now they're like mutants, but the guys still want to be with them, and it's just a bizarre movie. And this one cop who was like obsessed with, you know, killing herself, and because she blames herself for the death of her father. Now she's going out there and she's trying to catch this guy who's turning everybody into mutants. I mean, it's just really wild. There's blood everywhere. There's gore everywhere. It's just one of those movies that, you know, I just came to love because of all the blood. And it's really great. Pick it up. Now we're going to more serious horror movie. This is Tetsuo the Iron Man. Now, I remember like looking at this back in high school. I never saw it, but I remember they sold it on VHS, and I always wanted to know what was it about, because the description on the back says that, you know, it's this guy that starts to become a machine and his sexual appetite gets crazy, and he just goes on a raping rampage. Well, that's not true at all. In fact, the little like synopsis they have on the back of the box does not give it justice. This movie is really cool. It has to do with becoming a machine, becoming metal. It has to do with psychic powers, how to use your psychic powers, and it's just one of those movies where you just have to sit back alone, midnight, Saturday night, and watch it all the way through. The soundtrack is creepy. The images are really creepy. They're scary. The whole yelling in Japanese is just insane. You really watch it and you start to think you go crazy just by the fast-moving images, black and white. It's all black and white, which I really enjoy because you don't know what anything is. All you know is this guy's body's mutating, and you don't know what he's becoming, and it's just really out there. I don't want to give away too much because it's really a great movie. You got to pick it up. There was a sequel to it, and the sequel didn't get on here because the sequel was more of an action movie than a horror movie. So, but if you pick up the sequel, it's called Tetsuo 2 Body Hammer, and it's just as good, but this one is way out there. It's better. You got to check it out. One of those movies that I really enjoyed. Finally, the last movie, of course, by Takashi Miike, again, Imprint. Now, what's cool about Imprint is that it was actually made for like an English audience. So the whole movie's in English. It has like I think one American actor and Japanese actors and actresses in it. The story doesn't make sense. It's not an easy story to say. It's like it starts off as a story, then all these little tiny stories end up going in there, and it just creates one big mess. And you got to give props to Takashi Miike because for being a film that's only an hour long, it is really, really disturbing. I mean, it has rape, it has torture, it has mutants, it has prostitutes, it has demons, it has ghosts, it has fetuses, it has child molestation, it has incest. I mean, it has the whole works in it, and all this stuff is put into 1 hour. And the cool thing about it is that my homie bought it for me, just went out a limb, picked it up for Christmas, said, "Merry Christmas, I hope you enjoy it." I saw it one night, I said, "Wow, that's disturbing." And a couple of nights later, I took it over, me and a couple of other buddies watched it, and it was really, really disturbing to them. They couldn't believe, like, he felt bad. He's like, "I didn't mean to get you a movie that disturbing." I said, "Dude, it's perfect, man." I'm like, you kind of need that disturbingness once in a while. So it was a really good movie, and it's just really cool because, you know, it's made for an American audience. So there's not a lot of Japanese folklore in it, as in some horror movies. So, you know, you kind of understand what's going on. The only bad thing is that the Japanese actors are speaking English, so they speak really slow. Sometimes it's hard. You can tell they're having a hard time pronunciating the English words. But all in all, it's just a cool movie. It's not even a cool movie. It's not a great movie. It's just one of those movies you have to watch. It's so disturbing. You watch it and you're just like, wow, I can't believe I sat through that, saw it, I have no idea what's going on. And then you say to yourself, well, I'm going to watch it again because I want to get the whole story. So that is my Japanese top 10 horror films. I'm Robert Ochoa. Thank you very much for watching, and hope to see you again next time.